So about a year ago, I decided to record just a day in the life of me going to work in my old office space, and I had no intentions on using the video any way, shape, or form. I didn't have intentions on making an actual video from it. I just wanted to record it for safekeeping. But now we've come to this time where I've started this whole YouTube channel that I wanted to use the footage in some way, and I figured today I'd tell you exactly about my old office space and why I kind of strayed away from it. So for those of you who don't know what really a co-working space is, it's basically a generalized office space where different businesses or individuals can come and work and network together, and it's just an open playing field. And for any small business owner or entrepreneur that really wants to get started, it's a great way to just establish a location and get to know others in the community. So my thought process was, I'm gonna get an office space so I can have a centralized location and also make connections since I was freshly new to the Huntsville, Alabama market. And after a 6-month lease, I kind of realized who co-working was for and why it wasn't suited for me or my business. Some people ask me if I regret actually doing the office space. No, not at all. I think it gave me very valuable lessons, and it made me learn a lot about who I was and myself and my actual workflow and what makes me the most productive. Speaking of productivity, having that dedicated space for me made me so much more productive. In fact, the first day I showed up, because I was just so excited, I showed up at 7 a.m. on a given work day and worked till 12 in the morning. Non-stop, probably an hour lunch break, and that was it. To go from 5 to 6 hours a day working to 12 plus hours working, I was accomplishing a lot and accomplishing my goals. Not only was my productivity increased, but it was just a centralized location where I could receive mail, have business meetings, connect with other people, establish my location in this area. And the specific co-working space that I had, which was called Spaces, was absolutely wonderful. It was nice. I had a great experience. This is not sponsored by any way, but it was just always clean. They provided things for you to ready to work. There were really no complaints. It was a modern style, had nice natural light. It was a good dedicated space and I had no complaints, but it wasn't right for my business, and here's the reason why. The reason why this co-working space didn't work for me is not because of the amenities and not because of the staff, not because of the whole experience. It was based off the community. In order to get the most out of a co-working space, you have to have a good networking community. To give a little bit more context, the co-working spot that I was at was near the Space and Rocket Center and the Arsenal, which means there were a lot of government contractors who had no need for videography or video production, meaning they weren't seeking out creative services, they weren't networking or wanting to have conversation. They were always locked up in their office, which really made it a bad time for a co-working space when there's no one to co-work with. There were a lot of dedicated offices there, and for the amount of money that I wanted to spend, I didn't want a dedicated office. And also I thought the co-working experience would allow me to network, but with those factors just said, it literally made the whole point useless. In fact, the dedicated co-working spot, I was the only person in there. So it was like I had a whole office by myself, but really the whole point was defeated because there was no one there. So that's why I left the office space. It wasn't because it was nice, it was absolutely amazing. It allowed room for creativity, and I thoroughly enjoyed the spot. So if you're looking for a dedicated office space, I highly recommend Spaces. But it was just not for me or my business. So who would I recommend co-working spaces to? Definitely the small businesses and on-location employees looking to have a centered location that's focused on networking. Your intention shouldn't be to go in there and sell it all. People will automatically dislike you from day one. But it's good to network. It's good to make relationships. And I'd also recommend it to entrepreneurs and startups looking to have a more central location for marketing and networking. You honestly can't beat it for the price as long as there is a good community. So that's why it's so important to scout it out and make sure the community matches your goals and ideas. So that's what happened to my old office space. I hope you got something out of this and learned a little bit more about co-working spaces. Is it the future for businesses? I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you, but that's why I'm looking for a dedicated space that allows more room to be creative. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I just saw on my YouTube analytics that 70% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. And I hate to be the person to do call to actions, but if you made it this far in the video, leave a subscribe. Go ahead and like the video or dislike the video if you didn't get anything out of it, which is cool. But anyways, see you soon.